Hello everybody, hope you all had a wonderful weekend. It went really fast for us. It was a really busy weekend because there's a lot of emails, breaking news and stuff like that coming in. And we forgot to cover something the other day when we uploaded our video yesterday morning, I think it was, or Saturday night. That one. We forgot to mention that the San Diego Catholic Diocese could declare bankruptcy to pay hundreds of sex abuse victims. And we know the Catholic Church, they've just had a tsunami of cases against them. And I did a video, I think a couple of years ago now, about a diocese, Catholic diocese back east. If I remember correctly, it was like the New York or New Jersey, one of those. And the Roman Catholic Church wasn't helping them out. And so the liability of the CSA cases that they would have to pay out was actually causing them to file for bankruptcy. And so anyway, I will put the link down below to this. This is from San Diego, and just hundreds of cases going all the way back to 1945. So I think, in my humble opinion, I don't see how all of these religious organizations and Boy Scouts of America and all of these can even survive this tsunami of the horrific systemic problem they have within their organizations, in my humble opinion. Now, along those lines, this is an older case, but let's see, it originally went back to December 30th of 2021, and I'm going to put the link down below because this is in our local news, and it was just updated February 4th, 2023. All right, this is from the Santa Fe, New Mexican, and like I said, it was updated February 4th, 2023. Former Santo Nino health aide accused in 3 more sex abuse cases. Former school health aide Robert Apodaca, charged in July with counts accusing him of molesting a boy in 2019, faces 10 new charges, including rape and 3 cases alleging sexual abuse of 2 children and a teen. Now remember, it was Enoch Noah Apodaca up in Colorado in that murder-suicide. Wonder if there's a family relationship there. Don't know. Apodaca, 30 years old, most recently worked at Santo Nino Regional Catholic School but resigned in late April amid concerns of misconduct after a fellow employee reported she had discovered him in a dark, locked room with a 9-year-old boy on his lap. The child's mother contacted New Mexico State Police about the incident, prompting an investigation. 3 months later, Santa Fe police arrested him on 3 second-degree felony counts of criminal sexual contact with a minor in an unrelated case. So he's a pervo. Apodaca was accused of sexually abusing a 12-year-old student at Gonzales Community School, one of several public schools in the city where he had worked as a health aide between 2012 and 2020. Now here's the relevant part and why this interests all of us in this community. An arrest warrant affidavit said the boy also knew Apodaca from a local Jehovah's Witness congregation. The boy's parents discussed their concerns about Apodaca with a church elder, who went to the police, the affidavit said. Oh my God, he actually did what he was supposed to? I can't believe that. Good for him. Good for him. Watchtower, learn from your elders who have a conscience. See, New Mexico is a mandatory reporting state. Here in New Mexico, everyone is a mandatory reporter. And I would like to see that happen in all states. They need to have a federal law that everyone is a mandatory reporter. Some of the details I'm not going to read. You can read it. I'll put the link down below. The affidavit said, adding, Apodaca had spent time with the boy regularly and was accused of grabbing approximately 100 times over the course of about a year. Oh. The alleged abuse occurred in Apodaca's car, a home, and in the nurse's office at Gonzales Community School, the boy told police. Apodaca remains jailed in the case. News reports in early September of the allegations against him created controversy at Santo Nino, where parents complained they had not been notified about an investigation into possible abuse of a student after Apodaca's departure in April or his arrest in July on molestation charges. Some called for the removal of Principal Robin Chavez over her silence. Yeah, if I was a parent, I would be really upset too. Arrest warrants affidavits filed Friday in Santa Fe County Magistrate Court accuse Apodaca of abusing 3 other minors and engaging in a pattern of grooming behavior in which an adult builds a personal relationship with a child in preparation for future sexual abuse. One of the new cases against Apodaca involves a 9-year-old Santo Nino boy who told investigators in April that Apodaca had offered him special treats and often took him to isolated sites on campus, according to reports. The affidavit says Apodaca faces 1 count of third-degree criminal sexual contact with a minor. 2 other affidavits detail alleged incidents in Santo Nino at Boy Scouts of America, Gorham Scout Ranch in Chamayo, and a Santa Fe home. Both accusers, 9-year-old and 16-year-old boys, came forward in September, the affidavit said. Yeah. Like I said, it's pretty lengthy, and there is some really disgusting and disturbing details. But like I said, I will put the link down below. Now, we also have breaking news out of Puerto Rico. And I don't know if, I think it's being reported in Pennsylvania also. But the 5th perpetrator that was charged in Pennsylvania, one of the articles I had mentioned last week, he was still at large. They didn't know where he was. They suspected he was in Puerto Rico. Well, news now, and they have video of him being arrested in Puerto Rico. They found him. So thankfully, now I'm going to put the link down below. It was a Facebook public page. I believe it was called Shadow News. And I translated it to English, so I will read this, what it says. A man wanted in the state of Pennsylvania is arrested in Peñuelas. Don't know these names, my tongue don't work that way, suspected of having committed lawful acts and rape against 2 minors. Should be unlawful acts. In the afternoon of today, February 9, 2023, in the Coto Quebradas neighborhood, I'm not going to mention any of these, they give the municipalities, the cities, and all of that. Norman Avelas Garriga was arrested, who was a fugitive from justice in the state of Pennsylvania. Against this subject, there is an arrest warrant issued by the state of Pennsylvania. Garriga is accused of the following crimes: 20 charges of lawful acts and rape of 2 minors. The minors fluctuate between 13 and 16 years of age. The victims allegedly are the family of the suspect. The alleged events occurred on February 3rd, 2023. So, in Puerto Rico, he was doing the same thing. They give the agents' names attached to the Ponce Special Arrest Unit under the supervision of Sergeant Damaris Melendez were in charge of the arrest of this subject. Garriga was handed over to U.S. Marshals personnel for the extradition to be processed. So let's get him back to Pennsylvania and charge him. Now remember, he was one of the 5 JWs that was arrested or charged in Pennsylvania. So this is good news that they finally got him and arrested him, and good news. I just don't see how any of these religious organizations can survive this tsunami. It's just getting to be too much. Now what's interesting about the San Diego Catholic Diocese report is we actually heard that on our local news. And that's why I went and looked it up and thought it was interesting. Here in New Mexico, we have a huge Catholic community because there's a lot of Hispanics here, and most of them are Catholics. So, you know, every little town has a Catholic church. And, but unfortunately, when you try to talk to the locals about the problem in their Catholic church, just like Jehovah's Witnesses, they don't want to hear it. They think it's just an isolated incident and like, oh well, type of attitude. And then I want to thank the person that sent me the picture that it was even in the LA Times. So let's hope that now Watchtower's CSA cases are going to get reported and the attention that this needs. And I also want to thank everybody who sent me this document. It looks like it was an article in Vartland, and it was translated for me, so thank you very much. I appreciate it. Jehovah's Witnesses are suing the state administrator in Oslo and Viken. This is dated February 11th, 2023. Lawsuit: Jehovah's Witnesses are suing the state following a decision to strip them of registration as a religious community. Uses harsh words about the state manager. Of course. On Friday, Jehovah's Witnesses sent a lawsuit against a state trustee in Oslo and Viken to the Oslo District Court. The background is that before Christmas, the state administrator withdrew the Jehovah's Witness registration as a religious community. The state administrator's decision is not based on any judgments or any evidence whatsoever. Now this will be a case in the judiciary. Then we have to deal with it when the time comes, she says to Vartland. The core of the dispute: the state administrator's decision is linked to the Jehovah's Witness exclusion practice, which the state administrator considers illegal. Losing the status as a registered religious community means that state support and the authority to marry disappear. They can still practice their religion, they can still pray, they can still do whatever. They just won't be getting money from the government. Going on. The decision is not yet legally binding after the Oslo District Court decided on a so-called temporary injunction. This is what the state administrator said about the decision in December. In our opinion, the religious community violates the members' right to freedom of expression. We believe this violates the members' right to freedom of religion. We also believe that they violate children's rights by allowing them to exclude baptized minors and by encouraging members to socially isolate children who do not follow the religious community's rules. I love the next subheading: Stop complaining to the ministry, go to court. Due to the importance of the question and the time aspect, we have decided not to complain to the Ministry of Children and Families, but to bring the decision on refusal of registration to the courts. Jehovah's Witnesses write in their press release. It's quite a lengthy article, and if I can find the link again to the article, I will post it below, and of course you can, have Google translate it. So, thank you so much for watching, everybody, and we appreciate you joining us, and we appreciate all the emails and phone calls and comments underneath our videos. My goodness. And I've got a video I haven't edited yet and several other things going on, so it's going to be another busy week, especially with all this news about JWs coming in. And I know some may say, well, we don't want to hear about what's going on in Catholic land and their CSA problem. But I think it's important to kind of keep an eye on that, because what happens to the Catholic Church, I think the other churches, the daughters of the harlot are next. And so that's why I think it's important to watch this and see what's going on in the news about these Catholic dioceses, because Mike said years ago, Watchtower will only have two choices: file for bankruptcy and close their doors. So we can see it's happening in the Catholic Church, and they were the first to be exposed that I know of. I mean, that goes all the way back to the 70s. I can remember as a kid hearing about the problem in the Catholic Church. So I think it's a pattern, and we need to watch that, because this pattern, I think, is going to hit all of these churches. And we did a video a while back about the Southern Baptist Religious Organization and the Mormon organization. They have the same problem, the exact same. So you all have a wonderful week. Bye.